First contact, tension and misunderstanding. The massive Zirconian warship Celestial Fist hung in low orbit above Earth, its sleek obsidian hull reflecting the pale blue glow of the planet below. On the bridge, First Commander Laura Seavan stood rigid, her scaled hands clasped tightly behind her back as she gazed at the viewscreen. The third planet of this unremarkable yellow star system didn't look like much. Certainly not the home of a species that had managed to detect the Zirconian probe and disable it. Status report. Lyra barked, her secondary eyelids blinking rapidly in agitation. Science Officer Krell stepped forward, his antennae twitching nervously. The planet appears to be at a pre-FTL stage of development, Commander. However, our initial scans indicate surprisingly advanced technology in some areas, particularly in terms of computer systems and artificial intelligence. Laura's ridge crest flared in surprise. Impossible. No pre-FTL civilization could have detected our stealth probe, let alone disabled it. The evidence suggests otherwise, Commander, Krell replied cautiously. We've detected numerous artificial satellites in orbit, as well as what appear to be primitive space stations. The inhabitants call themselves humans. Lyra hissed softly, a sign of deep thought among her species. The Zirconian Empire had encountered many civilizations over the millennia, but none had ever managed to surprise them like this. It was unsettling. Prepare a first contact team, she ordered after a moment. I want to see these humans for myself. As the bridge crew scrambled to obey, Laura allowed herself a small thrill of excitement. Perhaps this mission wouldn't be as dull as she had initially feared. Thousands of kilometers below, in a secret underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Elena Rodriguez paced nervously in front of a bank of monitors. Each screen showed a different view of the alien ship that had appeared in Earth's orbit less than 24 hours ago. Any response to our transmissions? She asked, turning to face the communications team. A young technician shook his head. Nothing yet, Doctor. We've been broadcasting on all frequencies, using every language and mathematical sequence we could think of. They're either not receiving our signals or choosing not to respond. Elena ran a hand through her short, dark hair, frustration evident in her voice. Keep trying. We need to establish communication before. She was cut off by a sudden alarm. Red lights began flashing throughout the command center as panicked voices filled the air. Multiple objects detected leaving the alien vessel. Trajectory indicates they're heading for the surface. Estimated landing zone, 50 kilometers north of Denver. Elena's heart raced as she processed the information. This was it, humanity's first face-to-face encounter with an alien species. Everything they had prepared for, every protocol they had developed, was about to be put to the test. Alert the President and the Joint Chiefs, she ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. I'm heading to the landing site, and someone get me General Mitchell on a secure line. As Elena rushed to prepare for the impending encounter, she couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. For better or worse, humanity was about to take its first steps onto a much larger stage. The Zirconian shuttle touched down in a remote clearing, stirring up a cloud of dust and debris. As the engines powered down, Laura adjusted her atmospheric filter and checked her personal shield one last time. The air on this planet was breathable, but who knew what kinds of microbes or contaminants it might contain? The shuttle's ramp lowered with a soft hiss, and Laura stepped out onto alien soil. Her team followed close behind, 2 security officers, Krell, and a cultural specialist named Vex. They had barely taken a few steps when the sound of approaching vehicles reached their audio receptors. Defensive formation, Lyra ordered, her hand hovering near her sidearm. The Zirconians quickly arranged themselves in a protective circle, facing outward as they awaited the arrival of the planet's inhabitants. 3 large, wheeled vehicles crested a nearby hill, kicking up dirt as they sped toward the landing site. They came to a stop about 50 meters away, and Lyra watched intently as several bipedal figures emerged. The humans were strange. Their bodies were covered in artificial shells of various colors, and they lacked any visible natural defenses. No claws, no scales, not even a proper exoskeleton. How had such fragile-looking creatures managed to defeat Zirconian technology? One of the humans, a female with dark fur on its head, stepped forward. It held up its hands in what Lyra assumed was meant to be a non-threatening gesture. "Greetings," the human said, its voice clear despite the odd shape of its mouth. "I am Dr. Elena Rodriguez, representing the United Earth government. We welcome you to our world and hope for peaceful communication between our species." Lyra's universal translator processed the words, and she felt a mix of surprise and grudging respect. These creatures had managed to decipher the Zirconian language from the disabled probe far more quickly than she had anticipated. "I am First Commander Lyra Sivan of the Zirconian Empire," she replied, her voice modulated to match the human's audio range. "We have come to investigate the destruction of our observation device and to assess the potential threat level of your species." Elena's expression tightened slightly at Lyra's words. "I assure you, Commander, we meant no offense. The device you speak of entered our solar system without warning or identification. We attempted to communicate with it, but when it failed to respond and continued on a course that would have brought it into our atmosphere, we were forced to take defensive action." Lyra's ridge crest fled again, this time in irritation. A pre-FTL civilization should not have been capable of detecting our probe, let alone disabling it. "Explain how you accomplished this." Before Elena could respond, one of the other humans, a tall male with graying fur on its face, stepped forward. "That's classified information, alien. We don't owe you any explanations. The real question is, what are your intentions here?" "General Mitchell," Elena hissed, shooting the man a warning glance. "Please, let me handle this." Lyra's eyes narrowed as she assessed the aggressive human. Its posture and tone indicated a willingness to engage in physical conflict, a trait she had observed in other primitive species. It seemed these humans were no different. "Our intentions," Lyra said coldly, "are to determine whether your species poses a threat to the Zirconian Empire. Your ability to interfere with our technology suggests a level of advancement beyond what we typically encounter in pre-FTL civilizations. This anomaly must be investigated and, if necessary, neutralized." The tension in the air thickened at Lyra's words. General Mitchell's hand moved closer to the weapon at his hip, while Elena's eyes widened in alarm. "Neutralized," Elena repeated, her voice strained. "Commander Xivan, I assure you that Earth has no hostile intentions toward your people. We are a peaceful planet, interested only in scientific discovery and the expansion of knowledge. Surely we can find a way to cooperate and learn from one another." Lyra studied the human female carefully. Its words seemed sincere, but the Zirconian Empire had not become the dominant force in the galaxy by being trusting. Still, open conflict at this stage would be unwise. Perhaps a more subtle approach was needed. "Very well, Dr. Rodriguez," Lyra said after a moment. "We will refrain from immediate action. However, I must insist on a full inspection of your technological capabilities. My team will require access to your research facilities, military installations, and government centers." General Mitchell stepped forward again, his face flushed with anger. "Absolutely not. We're not going to give you free rein to spy on us and steal our secrets. For all we know, you're planning an invasion." "General, please," Elena interjected, her voice sharp. She turned back to Lyra, her expression a mixture of diplomacy and desperation. "Commander, while we are certainly willing to share some information, I'm sure you can understand our reluctance to immediately grant full access to our most sensitive facilities. Perhaps we could start with a more limited cultural exchange. We could show you some of our public institutions, our art and music, our natural wonders. In return, you could share some non-military aspects of your own civilization." Lyra considered the offer. It was far less than she had hoped for, but it might provide an opportunity to gather intelligence more subtly. And if these humans proved to be as primitive and emotional as they appeared, they might let something important slip during these cultural exchanges. Acceptable, Lyra said finally. We will begin with this limited exchange, but be warned, any sign of duplicity or aggression will be met with immediate and overwhelming force. The Zarkonian Empire does not tolerate threats to its security. Elena nodded, relief evident on her face. Understood, Commander. We'll make arrangements immediately. I promise you, we have much to offer each other if we can move forward in a spirit of mutual respect and cooperation. As the two groups began to discuss the details of their upcoming interactions, Lyra couldn't shake the feeling that she was missing something important. These humans were simultaneously more advanced and more primitive than she had expected. It was a paradox that demanded further investigation. Little did she know, this first encounter was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything she thought she knew about her own species, the humans, and the very nature of civilization itself. Unlikely alliance, facing a common threat. The gleaming spires of New Shanghai pierced the smog-filled sky, a testament to humanity's resilience in the face of climate change and overpopulation. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of the city's tallest skyscraper, watching as the Zarkonian shuttle maneuvered between the buildings, its alien design a stark contrast to the human architecture surrounding it. Magnificent, isn't it? Elena said, turning to face Commander Lyrak Sivan. This city was built entirely on reclaimed land, using revolutionary carbon capture technology and self-repairing nanomaterials. Lyra's ridge crest twitched, a sign of grudging admiration. Impressive for a pre-FTL civilization, she admitted, though I fail to see how this relates to your military capabilities. Elena sighed inwardly. After 2 weeks of cultural exchanges, the Zarkonian commander remained frustratingly focused on assessing Earth's threat level. Still, progress was being made, however slowly. Not everything is about military power, Commander, Elena explained patiently. This city represents our ability to adapt, to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. It's a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Before Lyra could respond, a high-pitched alarm began blaring throughout the building. Red emergency lights flashed and panicked voices filled the air. What's happening? Lyra demanded, her hand instinctively moving to her sidearm. Elena rushed to a nearby console, her fingers flying over the holographic interface. Her face paled as she read the incoming reports. It's impossible, she whispered. Explain, Lyra barked, her patience wearing thin. Elena looked up, her eyes wide with fear. We're detecting multiple quantum anomalies appearing in low Earth orbit. They're tearing holes in space-time. As if on cue, the sky above New Shanghai shimmered and distorted. A massive, swirling vortex of energy appeared, its edges crackling with eldritch lightning. From within the vortex, dark shapes began to emerge, sleek, predatory vessels that radiated an aura of ancient malevolence. By the eternal void, Lyra breathed, her usual composure shattered. It can't be. They're just a myth, a story to frighten hatchlings. What? Elena demanded. What are they? Lyra's voice was barely above a whisper as she replied, the Void Harbingers. Interdimensional predators that consume entire civilizations. But they haven't been seen in our galaxy for millennia. We thought they were extinct. As the alien armada descended upon the city, chaos erupted in the streets below. People ran screaming for shelter as strange, tentacled creatures began materializing on the ground, their bodies shifting and warping in ways that defied physics. We need to get to the command center, Elena said, grabbing Lyra's arm. Our military forces will be mobilizing, but they've never faced anything like this. We need your help, Commander. Lyra hesitated for a moment, her ingrained suspicion of the humans warring with the instinct for survival. Finally, she nodded. Very well. The Void Harbingers are a threat to all life in this galaxy. We will fight together. As they raced through the panicked crowds, Laura activated her comlink. Celestial Fist, this is Commander Xivan. Initiate Emergency Protocol Omega-9. We are under attack by Void Harbingers. Repeat, Void Harbingers are present. Prepare for immediate combat operations in conjunction with human forces. The next few hours were a blur of frantic activity. Elena and Lyra worked side by side in the underground command center, coordinating the combined human and Zarkonian defense efforts. Holographic displays showed battles raging across the globe as the Void Harbingers launched simultaneous attacks on major cities worldwide. Our quantum disruptors are having some effect, Lyra reported, studying the tactical readouts. But there are too many of them. We need a way to close those dimensional rifts, or they'll just keep coming. Elena nodded, her face grim. I think I might have a solution, but it's risky. We've been developing an experimental device called the quantum resonance amplifier. In theory, it could generate a counter-frequency to the Harbinger's dimensional technology, forcing the rifts closed. And in practice? Lyra asked, her eyes narrowing. In practice, it could potentially tear apart the fabric of our universe if the calculations are off by even a fraction, Elena admitted. Lyra was silent for a moment, weighing their options. Finally, she spoke. We have no choice. The Void Harbingers cannot be allowed to gain a foothold in this dimension. Prepare your device, Doctor. I will provide you with all the data we have on their quantum signatures. As Elena and her team worked feverishly to calibrate the quantum resonance amplifier, Lyra coordinated the space battle above. The Zarkonian warship Celestial Fist fought alongside hastily launched human spacecraft, their combined firepower barely holding the line against the relentless Harbinger assault. Commander. Krell's voice crackled over the comlink. Our shields are failing. We cannot withstand another barrage. Lyra's claws dug into the command console. Hold position, Celestial Fist. Help is coming. She turned to Elena. Doctor, we're out of time. It's now or never. Elena took a deep breath, her hand hovering over the activation switch. May whatever gods exist have mercy on us all, she whispered and pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a low hum filled the air, growing in intensity until it became a deafening roar. The ground shook, and the holographic displays flickered and distorted. In orbit, the Void Harbinger ships began to waver, their forms becoming insubstantial. The dimensional rifts pulsed and contracted, slowly closing in on themselves. It's working, Elena shouted over the noise. The rifts are collapsing. But their victory was short-lived. As the last of the Harbinger vessels vanished back into the void, a new alarm sounded. The amplifier is overloading. One of Elena's assistants cried. The reaction is becoming unstable. Shut it down, Lyra ordered. We can't, Elena replied, her fingers dancing over the controls. The process has become self-sustaining. If we don't find a way to contain it, it'll tear the planet apart. Lyra's mind raced, considering and discarding options in microseconds. Finally, she came to a decision. Doctor, I need you to transfer control with the amplifier to my ship. What? Why? Elena asked, confusion evident on her face. The Celestial Fist's quantum core can absorb the excess energy, Lyra explained quickly. We can use it to jump to hyperspace, taking the reaction with us. Elena's eyes widened as she realized what Lyra was suggesting. But your ship, your crew. We'll do what is necessary to save both our species, Lyra finished firmly. Now, transfer control. We don't have much time. With shaking hands, Elena initiated the transfer. On the main view screen, they watched as the Celestial Fist moved into position above the quantum resonance amplifier. Transfer complete, Elena reported. Lyra, thank you. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. Lyra's ridge crest flared one last time, but now it was a gesture of respect rather than irritation. Perhaps we were not so different after all, humans. Remember this day, Dr. Rodriguez. Remember that when faced with annihilation, our peoples chose to stand together. With that, the celestial fist's engines flared to life. The massive warship accelerated rapidly, climbing higher into the atmosphere. Just as it reached the edge of space, a blinding flash of light engulfed the vessel. When it faded, both the ship and the quantum disturbance were gone. In the command center, a stunned silence fell. Elena stared at the empty space where the celestial fist had been, tears streaming down her face. "What do we do now?" one of the human officers asked quietly. Elena squared her shoulders, wiping her eyes. "We rebuild, we prepare, and we honor the sacrifice of those who gave everything to save us all." She paused, looking around the room at the mix of human and Zarkonian faces. Together. As the first rays of sunlight began to pierce the smoke-filled sky, humanity and their unexpected allies faced an uncertain future. But they would face it united, forever changed by the day they stood against the darkness and emerged victorious. Quantum Leap, humanity's cosmic evolution. 5 years after the Void Harbinger invasion, Earth had transformed beyond recognition. The alliance between humans and Zarkonians had ushered in an unprecedented era of technological and social advancement. Gleaming megacities powered by zero-point energy reactors dotted the globe, while orbital habitats and lunar colonies expanded humanity's reach into space. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before the United Earth Council, her holographic image projected to billions of viewers across the planet and beyond. The chamber buzzed with anticipation as she prepared to unveil the fruits of half a decade's worth of collaborative research. Distinguished counselors, citizens of Earth, and our Zarkonian allies, Elena began, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. Today, we stand on the precipice of the greatest leap forward in human history. Project Stardancer is ready. A collective gasp rippled through the audience as a holographic display materialized behind Elena, showing a massive, ring-shaped structure orbiting the Earth. The quantum entanglement drive, Elena continued, combines human ingenuity with Zarkonian quantum manipulation technology. It will allow us to create stable wormholes, enabling near-instantaneous travel across vast distances of space. The council chamber erupted in excited murmurs. Humanity was about to join the ranks of truly spacefaring civilizations. But not everyone shared in the enthusiasm. General Mitchell, now aged but still influential, leaned forward with a scowl. "And what are the risks, Dr. Rodriguez? Have you forgotten the devastation caused by the quantum resonance amplifier? We barely survived one brush with dimensional technology." Elena nodded, acknowledging the concern. "Safety has been our paramount concern, General. We've incorporated multiple failsafes and—" She was interrupted by a sudden violent tremor that shook the entire chamber. Warning klaxons blared as the holographic displays flickered and distorted. "What's happening?" demanded the council president, rising from her seat. Elena's fingers flew over her datapad, her face paling as she read the incoming reports. It's impossible. We're detecting quantum fluctuations similar to those that preceded the Void Harbinger invasion. But they're not coming from space. They're emanating from within the Earth's core." As if in response to her words, the tremors intensified. Fissures began to appear in the ground, glowing with an otherworldly energy. From these cracks, strange, crystalline structures started to emerge, growing at an alarming rate. "Evacuation protocols initiated," announced an AI voice over the public address system. "All citizens proceed to designated safety zones immediately." In the chaos that followed, Elena found herself working alongside a team of human and Zarkonian scientists, desperately trying to understand the phenomenon threatening to tear the planet apart. These crystals, mused Krell, the Zarkonian scientist who had become Elena's close friend and colleague over the years. "They're unlike anything we've ever encountered. They seem to be rewriting the fundamental laws of physics in their vicinity." Elena nodded, her mind racing. It's as if the Earth itself is trying to evolve. But why now? What triggered this? As they debated theories and analyzed data, a new crisis emerged. Reports flooded in from around the globe of people undergoing strange transformations. Some developed telepathic abilities, others could manipulate matter with their minds, and still others seemed to phase in and out of normal space-time. The human genome is being rewritten on a massive scale, Elena realized, studying the medical data. Whatever is happening to the planet is affecting us too. Krell's antennae twitched in excitement. Elena, don't you see? This isn't a catastrophe, it's an opportunity. Your species is undergoing forced evolution, adapting to a new level of existence. Before Elena could respond, a blinding light filled the room. When it faded, she found herself standing on a crystalline platform high above the Earth's surface. Around her, she saw millions of similar platforms, each holding a bewildered human or Zarkonian. A voice, both everywhere and nowhere, resonated through her mind. Children of Earth and stars, the time of ascension is upon us. For eons we have slumbered within your world, waiting for you to reach this crucial juncture. You faced the void and emerged victorious. Now you are ready to take your place among the cosmic architects. Images flooded Elena's consciousness, vast, incomprehensible beings of pure energy and thought, shaping the very fabric of reality. She understood then that the Earth was not just a planet, but an incubator for a new race of cosmic entities. The choice lies before you, the voice continued. Embrace your evolution and join us in shepherding the universe, or remain as you are, bound by the limitations of your current forms. Elena looked around, seeing the fear, wonder, and confusion on the faces of those around her. In that moment, she knew that the fate of not just humanity, but of all sapient life in the galaxy, hung in the balance. Wait, she called out, her voice somehow carrying across the vast expanse. Before we decide, we need to understand. What will become of our worlds, our cultures, if we choose to ascend? And what of those who may not wish to evolve? The voice responded, a note of approval in its tone. Wisdom in the face of transcendence. This is why you are ready. Know that ascension is a choice, not a mandate. Those who wish to remain will be protected, shepherded by those who choose to evolve. Your cultures, your histories, all will be preserved, becoming the foundation upon which you build your cosmic legacy. Elena took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. She thought of the long journey that had brought humanity to this point, the triumphs, the tragedies, the unlikely alliance with the Zarkonians that had saved them all. We choose to ascend, Elena declared, her voice ringing with certainty. Not to abandon our past, but to honor it by shaping a better future for all life in the cosmos. As her words echoed across the crystalline platforms, a wave of agreement swept through the assembled beings, humans and Zarkonians alike, recognizing the monumental nature of the moment, made their choice. The crystalline structures began to pulse with energy, enveloping each individual in a cocoon of light. Elena felt her consciousness expanding, connecting with minds across space and time. She saw the vast tapestry of the universe unfold before her, countless civilizations rising and falling, the eternal dance of creation and destruction. As the transformation neared its completion, Elena had one last thought as her old self. We came from the stars, and to the stars we return, not as conquerors, but as guardians, teachers, and explorers. The next great adventure begins now. In a flash of cosmic radiance, the children of Earth and their Zarkonian allies transcended their physical forms, becoming beings of pure energy and thought. The Sol system, once an unremarkable corner of the galaxy, now shone as a beacon of hope and possibility for all sentient life. And somewhere in the vast expanse of the cosmos, the newly ascended beings began their work, guided by the wisdom of their shared histories and the limitless potential of their new existence. The age of cosmic enlightenment had begun, with humanity leading the way into a future brighter than any could have imagined. Cosmic architects, humanity's galactic legacy. A millennium had passed since humanity's ascension, yet the echoes of their transformation still reverberated throughout the cosmos. The beings once known as humans and Zirconians had become the cosmic architects, shapers of reality and guardians of life across the universe. But their greatest challenge was yet to come. In the heart of the Andromeda Galaxy, a young civilization known as the Quasar Nomads faced extinction. Their sun was dying, and with it, their hopes for survival. It was to this crisis that Elena, now an entity of pure cosmic energy, turned her attention. As Elena's consciousness spread across the vast distances of space, she sensed a familiar presence joining her. It was Lyra, the former Zirconian commander who had sacrificed herself to save Earth all those eons ago. In their ascended forms, they had become kindred spirits, working in harmony to guide the younger races of the universe. The Quasar Nomad's plight reminds me of our own past. Lyra's thoughts resonated with Elena's. Shall we intervene directly or guide them to find their own solution? Elena considered the options, her cosmic awareness allowing her to see countless potential futures branching out before them. We'll do both, she decided. Let's give them a push in the right direction, but allow them the triumph of saving themselves. Together, Elena and Lyra focused their immense power, subtly influencing the dreams and inspirations of the Quasar Nomads' greatest scientists. They planted the seeds of an idea, a way to harness the power of quantum entanglement to move their entire solar system to a new, stable star. As the Nomads worked feverishly to develop the technology that would save their species, Elena and Lyra watched with pride. It reminded them of humanity's own journey, the ingenuity and determination that had allowed them to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. But their intervention had not gone unnoticed. From the depths of intergalactic space, a vast and ancient intelligence stirred. The Void Harbingers, thought long defeated, had been merely dormant, waiting for the right moment to strike again. Cosmic architects, a chilling voice echoed across the fabric of space-time. Your meddling in the affairs of lesser beings has not gone unnoticed. The time has come for us to reclaim our rightful place as the supreme power in this universe. Elena and Lyra felt a wave of dread wash over them. The Void Harbingers had evolved as well, becoming even more formidable than before. They were no longer mere interdimensional predators, but entities that sought to consume and corrupt the very essence of reality itself. We must rally the cosmic architects, Lyra urged. This threat is beyond anything we've faced before. Elena agreed, sending out a cosmic summons to all their ascended brethren. Across the universe, beings of unfathomable power answered the call, former humans and Zirconians united in their duty to protect life in all its forms. As the Void Harbingers launched their assault, tearing through the barriers between dimensions, the cosmic architects stood firm. The battle that ensued was beyond the comprehension of mortal minds. Entire galaxies were used as weapons, black holes manipulated like playthings, and the very laws of physics twisted and rewritten in the blink of an eye. Elena found herself locked in cosmic combat with the leader of the Void Harbingers, a being of such immense darkness that it threatened to swallow all light and hope in the universe. As they clashed, Elena drew upon the memories of her human past, the determination that had driven humanity to reach for the stars, the compassion that had forged unlikely alliances, and the love for life in all its beautiful diversity. You fight for nothing, the Void Harbinger's voice boomed across reality. The universe tends towards entropy, towards darkness. Your struggle is meaningless. But Elena stood firm, her resolve unshaken. You're wrong, she countered, her voice carrying the weight of 1 billion stars. We fight for everything, for every life, every dream, every possibility. The universe isn't just about endings, it's about new beginnings, about hope in the face of darkness. With a surge of power drawn from the collective will of all the beings she had sworn to protect, Elena unleashed a blast of pure creative energy. It struck the Void Harbinger, shattering its dark essence and sending ripples of change throughout the cosmos. As the leader fell, the tide of the battle turned. The cosmic architects, inspired by Elena's victory, redoubled their efforts. One by one, the Void Harbingers were defeated, their corrupting influence cleansed from reality. In the aftermath of the cosmic war, Elena and Lyra surveyed the changed universe. Entire sectors of space had been reborn, flourishing with new forms of life and energy. The quasar nomads, protected by the cosmic architect's efforts, had successfully relocated their civilization, now thriving around a young, stable star. "We've won," Lyra mused, "but at what cost? So much has been destroyed, so many lives disrupted." Elena's consciousness expanded, taking in the full scope of the universe. "Yes, there has been great destruction," she acknowledged, "but also great opportunity for renewal. Look there." She directed Lyra's attention to a cluster of newly formed galaxies, bursting with the potential for life. "Our role now is not just to protect, but to nurture. We'll guide these new worlds, help them grow, and ensure that the legacy of our human and Zarkonian origins lives on in the civilizations to come." As they watched, the first sparks of intelligence began to flicker in those young galaxies. Elena and Lyra felt a renewed sense of purpose, a continuation of the journey they had begun so long ago on a small blue planet in an unremarkable corner of the Milky Way. "From the ashes of this cosmic war, a new era of creation begins," Elena declared. "And we'll be there every step of the way, remembering our roots, honoring our past, and shaping a future brighter than we ever dreamed possible." The cosmic architects spread out across the universe, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They carried with them the indomitable spirit of humanity, the wisdom of the Zarkonians, and the unshakable belief that in the vast tapestry of existence, every thread of life was precious and worth preserving. And so, the legacy of Earth and its unlikely alliance continued, echoing through eternity, a testament to the power of cooperation, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of a better tomorrow for all. Quantum rebirth, the awakening of Gaia. Eons had passed since the cosmic architect's victory over the void harbingers. The universe had flourished under their guidance, with countless civilizations rising to touch the stars. But for Elena and Lyra, a call from the distant past was about to change everything. As they traversed the quantum foam between dimensions, a familiar signal pulsed through the cosmic web. A beacon from Earth, dormant for millennia, had suddenly awakened. Impossible. Lyra's thoughts resonated with disbelief. Earth was transformed during our ascension. How could anything remain? Elena's consciousness expanded, probing the source of the signal. It's coming from the planet's core. Something, or someone, has survived all this time. Their curiosity piqued. The two cosmic architects journeyed back to the Sol system, now a shimmering nebula of exotic matter and quantum singularities. At its heart, they found Earth, no longer the blue marble of their memories, but a pulsating sphere of crystalline energy. As they approached, the planet's surface rippled, and a voice echoed through their minds. "Welcome home, children of Earth and stars. I am Gaia, the living consciousness of your world." Elena and Lyra were stunned. In all their cosmic wanderings, they had never encountered a fully sentient planet. "We had no idea," Elena communicated, her thoughts tinged with awe. "All this time you were alive." Gaia's response resonated with ancient wisdom. "I have always been alive but dormant. Your ascension awakened me, and I have spent the ages since evolving, growing, waiting for the right moment to call you back." "But why now?" Lyra inquired, her tactical mind assessing potential threats. "Because," Gaia replied, "the universe faces a danger beyond even the void harbingers. The very fabric of reality is unraveling, and only by combining our powers can we hope to prevent the collapse of all existence." Images flooded their cosmic senses, glimpses of universes winking out of existence, entire dimensions collapsing in on themselves, and a creeping void that threatened to consume everything in its path. "The entropy wave," Gaia explained. "A fundamental force of uncreation that seeks to return all of reality to a state of perfect nothingness. It has been building since the dawn of time, and now it approaches the critical point." Elena and Lyra shared a moment of cosmic dread. Even with their vast powers as cosmic architects, this threat seemed insurmountable. What can we do? Elena asked, her voice carrying the weight of billions of years of experience. Gaia's response was both thrilling and terrifying. We must rewrite the laws of physics themselves. But to do so, we need to harness the combined power of every conscious being in the universe, a true cosmic awakening. The scale of the task was staggering, but Elena and Lyra knew they had no choice. They sent out a universal call, reaching across time and space to every civilization they had ever encountered, every being they had guided, every life they had touched. As the message spread, the universe itself seemed to hold its breath. From the smallest microbial colonies to the most advanced spacefaring empires, all life turned its attention to Earth, the cradle of the cosmic architects, now revealed to be something far greater. Gaia began to pulse with energy, drawing in the collective consciousness of trillions upon trillions of beings. Elena and Lyra acted as conduits, their ascended forms channeling the power of life itself into the heart of the living planet. The process was unlike anything they had experienced before. They felt the hopes, dreams, and fears of countless species flow through them. The determination of humanity that had driven them to the stars, the wisdom of the Zirconians that had taught them to look beyond their differences, the boundless creativity of a universe teeming with life, all of it converged in a single universe-altering moment. As the entropy wave approached, threatening to unravel the very fabric of existence, Gaia unleashed the combined power of universal consciousness. Reality itself buckled and warped, fundamental constants shifting in ways that defied comprehension. For a moment that stretched into eternity, the fate of all existence hung in the balance. Elena and Lyra, once mortal beings who had risen to become shapers of galaxies, now found themselves at the very heart of creation, witnessing the rebirth of the universe. When the cosmic dust settled, they found themselves changed once again. The universe around them pulsed with new life, new possibilities. The entropy wave had been not just defeated, but transmuted into a force of creation, seeding reality with the potential for infinite growth and evolution. Gaia's voice, now one with the cosmic chorus, echoed through their beings. We have done it, children of Earth and stars. We have given the universe a new beginning, a chance to grow beyond the limits of what we once thought possible. As Elena and Lyra marveled at the reborn cosmos, they realized that their journey had come full circle. From the fears of a first contact to the transcendence of physical form, from cosmic guardians to the saviors of all reality, the legacy of humanity and its unlikely allies had shaped the very essence of existence. What now? Lyra wondered, her thoughts merging with the universal consciousness. Elena's response carried the wisdom of eons and the excitement of new discoveries yet to come. Now we explore, we learn, we grow. The universe is new again, and we have the privilege of watching it unfold, guiding it not as separate entities, but as part of the living tapestry of creation itself. And so, the beings who were once Elena Rodriguez and Lyra Sevan, once human and Zirconian, once cosmic architects, now became one with the universal consciousness. Their story, the epic tale of humanity's rise from a tiny blue planet to the guardians of all existence, became woven into the very fabric of the new reality. In every atom, every star, every flicker of consciousness across the reborn universe, their legacy lived on, a testament to the power of cooperation, the strength found in diversity, and the limitless potential of life to overcome even the most cosmic of challenges. The adventure, they realized, was only just beginning.